Hello again, everybody. I have another message off of YouTube, so here we go. I apologize in advance for the long message. I have been watching your videos for only a little while, and they have opened my eyes. I have been a victim to narcissistic abuse my whole life and have been blind to it. I admit I have made some major mistakes in my life and that I am by no means the best behaved child. My mother made me completely dependent on her as she did not let me get a job through high school. And any question of gaining small bits of freedom, we were frowned upon. Okay. So again, we've already talked about how the narcissist loves to control you through money, whether not giving you any or making you get a job and taking your money. But they want to keep you completely dependent on them. But you're still calling yourself a child, and it appears that you're already through high school, which would make you an adult. And that's the first part of what the narcissists do. They keep you in a perpetual state of childhood. So start calling yourself an adult. She's not physically abusive, but her words are like a knife deep in my chest, at least when she's angry. When I don't do exactly as she tells me to, she goes into a rage, berating me until I bend to her will. Since my father passed away when I was young, it has been just my mother raising my sister and I. Even more so recently, I began to realize that my sister is the golden child, and I have been named the black sheep. Example is, I got a used car for my first car while my sister was allowed to get a new one. And yeah, I mean, I dealt with something similar where I had to buy my first car and when I was a kid, and my brother was just given a car. So that is a common black sheep, golden child trait with narcissistic parents when they become of driving age. The black sheep either doesn't get a car or gets a substandard car, while the golden child is either given a car, given a new car, and it's all done to let you know you're not on the same level as the golden child. The signs of her control began to become clear in high school when she threatened not to fund my education if I became a music performance major. And narcissistic parents love to do that. They love to, as you're about to go into college or you're about to leave high school, they want to control what you're going to try to go into and what you're going to try to and what you want to do. And then they threaten not to send you to school to basically crush your dream. And this is just another way of how the narcissist is going to try to control you for the rest of your life. Music at the time was my life and my emotional vent, and she managed to ruin that for me to this day. I eventually did what she wanted and applied to university as an engineering major. Though she insisted that I was a bioinformatics major to her friends. As I had done my entire life, I had bent to her will. Recently, I switched to physics, which she still isn't happy about. And, you know, again, narcissists hate you doing anything creative because, you know, I wish I could tell you why, but I think it's because creative people usually write about their life experiences or make art about it or sing about it or something, and I think that's what the fear is. And there's also, I think, an embarrassment with a narcissist if they tell people you're a music major or you're an art major, because a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, what a dreamer, and it's sad. It's the same thing that happened with my wife. My wife had given up art for 15 years because her parents had basically beaten it out of her. So I understand that, not being able to follow your passion. After my first major split up in college, my mother began to truly show her colors. On my father's death anniversary, I decided to leave school and go to my boyfriend's and left my phone at my dorm. My mother has a knack for tracking my phone. I believe those actions were done out of homesickness somehow and not wanting to be alone. When my mother found out, she went into a rage, screaming profanities at me and threatening to pull me out of school as punishment. I don't know whether or not that reaction was called for, but it resulted in many tears and 2 weeks worth of focus. My mother had told me that I was a disgrace to my father and that he would be ashamed of me. To this day, she holds this incident above my head. Every time I mess up, she uses an example why my sister is obviously smarter than me. No, you should turn around and say to her, no, this is an example of why you're a fucking asshole, why you won't let me grow up. Okay, I am an adult. Okay, granted, you're paying for my college, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to track my every move. College is meant for you to get some life experience as an adult, okay, and your mother's trying to keep you as a perpetual child. Your mother's obviously very nervous about something, okay, and what that something is you realizing you don't need her, what an asshole she is, and that you'll meet somebody or do something and you'll realize that you never have to talk to her again. My mother never warmed up to my boyfriend after that. He makes me unconditionally happy and provides a space for me to vent. At home, it's a sign of weakness to cry or show emotion. He made me feel like I had the freedom over my actions and made me feel like everything I thought and felt was important and meaningful. I believe the fact that he didn't and doesn't bow down to a totalitarian rule really gets her goat. Oh, it does. It does. And I was going to say, if he hasn't stood up to her, he should. Because if he stands up to her and gets in her face, she may actually back off. Or, I mean, she also may stop paying for your school, but that might not be the worst thing in the world either. You know, it may force you to figure out on your own that doing these things aren't impossible, and you don't need your mother's money as much as you think you do. So naturally, when I decided to go home for a semester and attempt to transfer to a different school, she naturally asserted that it was because of him, which it isn't. I am looking for a school with more research opportunities for my field. Mind you, a field you don't even want to be in, that you know you don't want to be in. So why are you doing it? What you should be doing is looking for a music school, looking for grants, looking for student loans, and figuring out how to do what you want to do. You know, you're saying you have a great relationship with your boyfriend. I don't know what your living situation is, but you and he, if possible, should figure out how to make what you want to do work and how to get this woman out of your life as soon as possible. Why are you saying this is your field when you're openly saying this is not what you want to be doing? She constantly puts me down because of it, telling me that she thought she had raised me better and constantly asks me, what would your father think? I constantly feel less than for not having my life 100% figured out. Some days I just want to throw in the towel. Okay, when your mother talks about not being raising, she should have raised you better, you should agree with her. Say, yeah, absolutely you should, because you're a horrible fucking mother and you're a horrible fucking human being. Agree with her. And then when she gets mad, she's like, what? Just be like, what? I'm agreeing with you. You're the one saying you didn't raise me right. I'm agreeing with you. You're a horrible fucking person. And you should have raised me better. You should have raised me to support me, but that's not what you do because you're a selfish, evil bitch. You need to say these things to this woman because this woman is going to run you down for the remainder of your life. Nothing you do or say or accomplish will ever be good enough for this woman. So stop trying to please her and cut her the fuck out of your life. Who cares if she's paying for your college if she's paying for something you don't even want to do? What's the purpose? You're going to hate yourself even more. That degree is not going to mean anything to you. And then you're going to get into a field and you're going to work a job that you're going to despise. And then you're going to wake up like I did at 34, 35 years old and realize you haven't lived one day of your own life. And then you're going to really, really, really be mad at yourself. To sum things up, my mother constantly wants to control everything I do. And that's what most narcissists want. She wants me to believe that I can't be successful without her money to put me through school, and constantly gets angry at me for my political views. She's a Trump supporter because I'm not a conservative. Well, I'm a Trump supporter, but that doesn't give her any right to do this. You know, you should say, do you think Donald Trump ever discouraged his children from anything? Do you think Donald Trump forced his children to do anything? Look at Donald Trump's children. Look at what they have become. Look at the support that Donald Trump gives his children. Look at how Donald Trump, and you use this Trump thing against her, and I love Trump, and I don't care if you're not a conservative or not. Trump talks up his daughter, his two sons. Trump lets his children run his business, a multi-billion-dollar business. You see, you're not a Donald. You know what you say to her? Donald Trump would hate you. Donald Trump would be embarrassed that you were a supporter of his. Okay, because look at how Donald Trump treats his children and his daughter. He can't speak enough of his daughter. He puts his daughter in charge of major deals, major properties. You aren't a Trump supporter. Donald Trump would be absolutely, he would be absolutely horrified by your mother's behavior towards you. And you should use that. See, what you need to learn how to do is, and we all need to learn how to, because I learned how to do it, is you need to do what the narcissist does to us, is you need to take what they love and what they hang their hat on and use it against them. Donald Trump's children were put through the best schools. He supported them throughout life. And look at them. Look at them. You ever hear you think Donald Trump ever said anything like this about his own children? I think not. Say that to her, okay? And watch her head spin off her freaking shoulders. Any thought I have that differs from her is an obvious reflection of my boyfriend. Well, she obviously is very intimidated by your boyfriend and your relationship, which should tell you to stick with this guy. My choice not to have kids later on is my boyfriend's belief, which is not I don't want kids because I am afraid I could be like her. I would never wish this upon anyone else. And that's really why my wife doesn't want kids either. We don't want any more children. I mean, I have my daughter, but it's that fear of, listen, not everybody needs to be a parent. Not everybody, kids aren't for everybody. Obviously, by how many of us have dealt with this abuse at the hands of our parents, okay? That's not to say that if you change your mind that you feel you're ready to have kids, that you shouldn't. But if you don't want to have kids, you shouldn't be embarrassed to say that you don't want to have kids. There's nothing wrong with that. My mistakes are magnified to make me feel as though I have committed a mortal sin and I shouldn't be a member of the Catholic Church with my beliefs and my mistakes. Who cares about the Catholic Church, really? It's a big magic building with stained glass windows. Okay, again, another narcissist hanging their hat on the magic house and the flying spaghetti monster in the sky. And that's not to say I don't believe in God, and okay, but I don't believe in organized religion, and I sure as shit don't believe in the Catholic Church. My sister and I are constantly pitted against each other, especially when one of us makes a mistake. I feel like shit no matter what I do, and I don't know whether these feelings are justified or I need to obey my mother. You don't need to obey anybody. What obey? I hate that word. I fucking despise that word. Obey, obey, obey. The only people that should be obeying is little kids. You're a grown woman, you're going to college, you're obviously smart enough to handle physics classes. You don't need to obey your mother. Your mother needs to respect you. You don't need to obey anybody who doesn't respect you. You don't need to obey anybody. Relationships should be based off of mutual respect, which there's none of this in this relationship. Obey your mother. See, but this is how the conditioning works. They make you feel like you need to obey or you need them, and you really don't. Anyways, to get to the point of my message, Recently, my mother wouldn't allow me to see him as I had been out too late the night before, which was 9 p.m. Therefore, I went home to fix my class schedule as one of my courses had been canceled, and I had to split classes between two of my community college campuses. I had been calling him for moral support as my mother had been breathing down my neck for not getting my classes the way she wanted. Oh, God, you need to get away from this woman. You're an adult. You can date whoever you want to. She has no right to tell you what type of classes you should be taking, ever, ever. If you're going to community college, and the other thing is, if you're going to community college at this point, community college is very cheap and inexpensive. Very cheap and inexpensive. So it is very plausible for you to be able to get either student loans or a job to pay, but your mother says you won't. Go get a job, get a part-time job. It doesn't take community college classes are very inexpensive. You don't need your mother's money, and you don't need to put up with your mother's bullshit for her money to go to community college. Who the hell, 9 p.m. out too late? There's something seriously wrong with this woman. See, your mother has serious, serious control issues, and you need to get away from this bitch as soon as you possibly can. One thing led to my mother, and my boyfriend actually overheard a conversation between my mother and I regarding the topic. She was yelling at me, and I had what you can basically describe as a panic attack. He drove to my house and asked me to go with him for a while to cool down. My mom stormed out of the house and told him to leave. He responded by telling her to treat me like an adult. I'm 20. And she told him to mind his own business. His parents don't have rules like her because they don't care what he does. After she drugged me into the house, she proceeded to scream at me for an hour, taking my phone away and telling me I was a disgrace and that my father would be ashamed of me. How dare I possibly be with someone who would disrespect her, even though she's the one who constantly deals the blows? Well, if your mother put her hands on you and drug you, call the cops. Call the cops. When your mother flies into one of these rages, go call 911. Go call 911. Okay? And even if she throws it, what is she going to do? Throw you out? Let her throw you out. If you got somewhere to go, if you can go live with your boyfriend, if you guys can make something work, if he cares enough about you to show up at your house and to try to stand up for you, you two need to figure out a way to get you out of that house and to continue on your education, but to continue your education and doing what you love doing. Not doing this fucking nonsense to be a slave to this fucking bitch. Because this is only going to get worse for you. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. You need to stop this now before it's too late. I'm currently trying to decide what I should do. My boyfriend is practically begging me to leave home with him, but I know that he wouldn't be able to fund my education if I did that. I can also tell that he's getting anxious over the whole thing and he's concerned for my mental health. Okay, look, you're only 20. Okay, for me, you shouldn't even go to college for 2 to 3 years after high school because you need to figure out what the hell is out there in the world and what the world is about. Okay, move out with him. If he wants you to move out with him. Go get a job. Start making a little money. And then figure out what your options are to get back into a music field and cut this woman out of your life. You have somebody who's trying to help you and save you, who you care about and cares about you. You're already forcing yourself into a physics field and you're not even old enough to drink yet. That is insane. Go live your life a little bit. Have a little bit of fun. See what's out there. Learn about the world because I'm telling you, you don't know anything about the world yet because this woman has not allowed it. You deserve, at this point of 20 years of this bullshit, some time to yourself. Get away from this woman now. However, at the rate which I'm going, I'm never going to be able to finish 3 more years of college with the way my mother is affecting my sanity and mental health. I am stuck at a crossroads. I don't know where to go or if leaving my family is acceptable. It is a tradition in my family and culture to always respect and obey your elders. Right here with that. Right here with that. Right here with that. Okay? Anybody who says respect and obey your elders means you're coming from a culture and a family of fucking assholes, and that's all. What fucking sense does that make? So the elders can act any way they want, and you have to respect them. That is the motto of a true abuser, narcissist, who can't defend their own goddamn positions. Oh, well, I'm the mother. I'm the father. Respect your elders. Right here with that shit. Right here with that shit. Okay? That is the excuse of abusers. Respect your elders. Blood is thicker. That is crap. Blood doesn't make you family. Behavior does. You're just related to that woman. That's it. You're related by blood. There's no family bond here. There's no evidence of family whatsoever, other than she did what every organism on this planet did. She fucking gave birth. That's it. Congratulations. You're no better than a fucking worm or an amoeba that can multiply. That's all she was able to accomplish. Period. Any advice you would have would be greatly appreciated. I think I've stated my advice pretty thoroughly here. If my story makes it on your channel, please leave me anonymous. Thank you very much, Mr. Okay, so to surmise, you're being forced to do something you don't want to do in a field you don't want to do. You're going to a community college that is dirt cheap to go to and staying abused by your mother so she'll pay the few $100s a semester that it costs to go there. You have somebody who loves you, and your mother is obviously threatened by that because she wants to keep you in her claws of abuse. Your boyfriend's willing to have you move out and figure this out. Do it. You don't need to be in college right this very second. You're only 20 years old. You have so much time. You have so much time to figure out where you want to go, what you want to do, what the best course of action is. But your priority now needs to be to get away from this woman and to get out of this situation. And you have somebody that's willing to fight for you and willing to help you and willing to love you. Run to it. Embrace it. Figure it out. Live your life a little bit. And you see, with no contact will come clarity and will be sense. And if you really love music, figure out how to do it. Figure it out. Get a job working in some kind of music industry, or just get a job, get some independence, make some money on your own. And when you get that first paycheck, you will see, like, oh my God, this isn't impossible. And you're really gonna get mad at your mother, and you'll be like, you fucking bitch. Like, this is so attainable, and you're making me feel like I can't do anything on my own. Fuck you. Fuck you. So, I'm sorry for my language, but your letter really, really got to me here. Thank you for it. I appreciate it, because I can't tell you how many people go through this. And you are at a point in your life, at a crossroads, where in 10, 15, 20 years, you'll be thinking about this time where you could have made a change and didn't, and you will kick yourself for not doing it. Now is your time. You are so early in your life. Now is your time to make your change. Now is your time to break away. Leave her. Leave that house. Run away. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night while she's out for groceries, whatever. Pack your stuff. Don't let her know you're leaving. Don't let her know you're leaving, because she'll try to take your clothes, your phone, and whatever else, saying, this is mine, I bought this. Fuck you. Bail. Bail. When she's gone, bail. And don't tell her where you went. And if she does fine, say, I'll figure it out. You're out of my life forever. So I hope that helps out. I hope that gives you some clarity. I hope it helps out who's ever watching the video. Once again, if you enjoy this channel, please consider supporting it by donating to the GoFundMe so I can continue making more videos. And again, if you do make a donation and you want your story and my opinion on your situation, your story goes right to the top of the list, and I'll immediately make a video for you. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks again for watching. Take care, everybody.